Hello everyone and welcome to the Pan American Games recap. First things first, we did a live stream for this event, so if you are ever bored and looking for a 2-hour something or other to listen to, look no further than that live stream. But seriously, that event had some really bad early technical difficulties and I had to start a new stream link and everything because OBS just wasn't working right or how I really wanted it to. But regardless, really sorry about that, but my PR and IT team, aka me, are working on it so that doesn't happen again. However, once we got it up and running, it was so much fun, so I am really happy for everyone who showed up and participated in the chat and was just there regardless. I had a blast, so thank you all again for that. It was like a dream streaming, so it was a lot of fun. But now let's talk about the actual event and not the live stream of the Pan American Games, and let's get into it the only way I know how, and that is the classic TrueTan fashion. Pan-ams was, well, a little lackluster if you are not a USA Wrestling fan. I hate saying that, but currently based on my demographics, I think my fans will be fine with me actually saying that. Regardless, as a USA fan, this tournament is normally a nice test and pretty fun to see some of our best or second or even third string guys go out and take names against some of our Pan-American rivals. Men's freestyle totally dominated and won every weight but 70 kilograms, which I'll talk about when we get to it, and heavyweight, which if you watch my stream was an awesome way to end the tournament. Canada, the Oregon State alumni, takes the lead here 1-1, gets a front head in on a shot over Quiz and gets a take. This wouldn't be a recap if I didn't cover Greco and women's freestyle, which USA also dominated in. So let's stop beating around the bush and jump into the Pan American Championships. And make sure if you enjoy this video to hit that thumbs up button for the like and also subscribe to the channel, along with leaving a comment on your favorite moments from Pan-ams or if you have any questions throughout. Also, I added the support button on my YouTube videos, so if you don't like Patreon, hit that little heart with a $sign in it. Thank you, and now let's dive in. So I'm going to talk a little freestyle, then jump to Greco and women's wrestling, and then back to men's, and then jump back to women's and Greco, and then back, the classic snip, snap, snip, snap. That's kind of the best way I thought to cover everyone in a fair way and show the interesting parts of the tournament to keep people engaged. So let's start with the lightweights at 57 kilograms for the men's division, which was honestly one of the strongest weights here. The champ at 57 kilograms was Thomas Gilman, pretty much dominating the bracket. He had a former USA wrestler and Darian Cruz in the finals, who he beat 11-0, but Cruz had a nice run himself to the finals. He beat Canada's Capellan, who beat world-ranked Ray in the quarters, and then Cruz also beat the 3 seed from Colombia in the qualification rounds. So Cruz still hasn't found the magic against Gilman again, but he beat some really tough opponents on his route to become a Pan-American medalist. So with the right placement, he could find himself a medal at Worlds. Gilman also beat Cuban's Alvarez, who took the lead on Gilman and had some interesting stuff for sure, but once Gilman got him fatigued, it was all Gilman to the tech fall. Speaking of the Cuban Alvarez, this is a good time to mention Cuba, to help inform people about Cuba sort of losing their dominance in the sport of freestyle wrestling. They're still wrestling some of their super old starters who have been on the team forever and have done well at the Worlds and Olympic Games. Most of those guys didn't come here, so it was a little weaker field than normal. However, instead of bringing some of their young and upcoming talent, which they may or may not have, they still brought some pretty old wrestlers for the standard of the sport. And then with some of their guys fleeing, it's not looking so good for Cuba as a whole. They're still looking good in Greco, but considering they don't even send guys at non-Olympic weights, it leads to some smaller brackets there and just a little weaker field because Cuba's sort of falling off. Speaking of Cuba and them being pretty good at Greco, let's recap Greco at Pan-ams. Like I said, some of these brackets were pretty small. Coons had a round robin and he smashed through that bracket at 55 kilograms. Samuel Jones only had one match against the local Mexican rep and he teched him 10-0, so short day for Jones, but hopefully enjoyed the Mexican sun. And Pat Smith would be an absolute dog, smashing through his 5-man round robin bracket to also become a Pan-American champion. There was also Miranda at 60 kilograms, which is an Olympic weight class, and he had some barn burners to win gold here. And he was hands down one of the most fun guys to watch in the Greco-Roman field, probably only behind Pat Smith. My final notes in Greco were Perkins taking bronze at 77 kilograms, and he had some nice matches for sure, along with Cunningham also coming home with a 3rd place medal at 82 kilograms. Cuba had 3 champs of their own in Greco and a few finalists, so they are still really tough in that field, even though their freestyle game is falling off a little bit. Back to men's freestyle, we look at 61 kilograms, which doesn't have a ton to say besides Dayton Fix absolutely killing everyone in this field. Like, he slaughtered the field here at Pan-ams. He won his gold medal match by getting an inside trip for 4 to get the tech fall, and then he got a pin, so he got a tech pin for gold. First 30 minutes gone, inside trip for 4! Oh my gosh, and that's it. Fix going for the pin though, and he's gonna get it. The only other notable thing was we saw former Florida stud and Michigan wrestler Joey Silva placing silver for Puerto Rico in the round robin, and besides losing to Fix in the first round, he teched everyone else to take that second place spot. 65 kilograms had an awesome final for NCAA fans between Joey McKenna for USA going up against former Rutgers and Northwestern All-American Sebastian Rivera wrestling for Puerto Rico. They both beat tough wrestlers who teched their way to bronze, and McKenna's semi-match was wild. Like, the one 4-pointer he scored where he shot in and picked the guy up and then half flipped him to his back, that was just crazy. But that Argentine wrestler was actually pretty tough regardless of that loss. And then Rivera beat Camacho of Dominican Republic 8-6 early in the tournament, and he stomped his way to place bronze there. The Cuban Lopez forfeited out of this tournament, so I think he could have for sure made a difference in the bracket, or at least made it a little bit more interesting. But at the end of the day, McKenna would get a bow down single leg to get 4, and then a quick leg lace to beat Sebastian Rivera. The match was a little competitive in the beginning, but once McKenna hooked up that lace, it was game over for the 65 kilogram gold. At 70 kilograms, Zane Rutherford was USA's rep, but he only weighed in to qualify our weight for the world tournament, but then forfeited out due to illness, which was super unfortunate that we didn't get to see him here or any USA representative at 70 kilograms. The cool part about this was it led to some different guys making the finals, and Canada got a champ here in Olapata, and Brazil got their only finalist in Da Silva Joaquim, and that was pretty cool to see. 2 different styles compared to an American wrestling style, plus Brazil isn't the most well-known in wrestling, so it was cool that they got a finalist here. 74 kilograms had another NCAA legend matchup with Michigan State's national champ Franklin Gomez facing off against Cornell's 4-time champion, along with USA's world/Olympic medalist Kyle Dake. They both smashed their way to the finals, and honestly, Gomez showed off some of his veteran abilities. He did not win, and Dake controlled the whole match, winning 10-1, but Gomez gave him a fight, and in some cases that is a mini victory and could show some huge improvements in the future. So all of the male finals I've been talking about happened on Sunday, the last day of the tournament. However, 79 and 92 kilograms for the males happened on Saturday. Before I tackled those 2 weights, let's recap some of the amazing performances on the women's side of things. At 50 kilograms, Sarah Hildebrandt was just lights out. Like, wow, she is so good. She crushed her way to another Pan-Am title, winning 3 matches 10-0. And does anyone else in the world have a better leg lace than her? I don't really think so. Parrish at 53 kilograms did an amazing job for herself, winning herself a title, and she could for sure compete with Fernside, who upset her last year at the World Team Trials in 2021. 55 kilograms was one of the craziest weights here, and maybe the strongest in my opinion. Gonzalez of Canada was the champion here at the Pan American Games, and last year she wasn't even the rep at the World Championships for Canada. The rep in 2021 for Canada was Fox Cramble, and she's also super tough, so they for sure have a roster battle up north in Canada and showing some real depth at this weight class along with USA. But before I get too far ahead of myself, Gonzalez would go on to beat one of our best in Winchester, who just came off winning a Senior Open title, and before that, Gonzalez beat a U23 champion here. So Gonzalez could have for sure been in the conversation for OW at this tournament. Now looking at 55 kilograms from the USA standpoint, this weight is Rana Hean, who just took second at the US Open, has been in the 53 kilogram finals several times and is super young, along with the returning bronze medalist Burkett. So yeah, 55 kilograms is going to be fireworks at World Team Trials and Final X. I'll get back to women's, but let's talk about the 2 brackets for men's that did not happen on Sunday and were wrestled on Saturday, 79 kilograms and 92 kilograms. In short, Burroughs totally crushed everyone and looked super slick on his way to a 79 kilogram title. Jaden Cox also teched everyone at 92 kilograms and totally dominated that field. Both of these guys were in round robin, so not huge brackets, but winning here will still give them nice seeding points for the World Championships. Back to wrapping up our women. We had another Canadian upset at 62 kilograms with Anna Gonzalez. The 55 kilogram rep was Carla Gonzalez. Anna Gonzalez placed 8th at Worlds last year, and she beat our returning world silver medalist in Miracle, who also won the US Open title a week ago. These Gonzalez girls really showed up and kind of sent shockwaves through the women's rank here in the US, beating 2 of our stars. However, this was a quick turnaround for them, and Worlds is still very far away, so our team will continue to develop and get better. But for now, congrats to Canadian women Roman in Anna and Carla Gonzalez. At 65 kilograms, Molinari is back from a world medal and smashed her way to a title here, along with another US Open champ from last week in Gro, who looked impressive winning here, and I am super pumped to see her against opponents like Welker at the trials, along with Kennedy Blades. However, with Gray having a baby at 76 kilograms, maybe some of them might bump up to get away from the competition, but considering they are some of the best competitors in the field right now, pound for pound, I'm not too sure about that. But speaking of 76 kilograms, Guilford won her way to a gold medal at Pan-ams here, looking pretty impressive, beating some elite ladies in Valdez, who is a really top tier opponent from Ecuador. Now we are back to the men's field to wrap everything up with 86 kilograms. Unfortunately, we did not see our top star in David Taylor, which is a little concerning, but I think it was just something small and he should be ready to go for Final X coming up in a few months, so he's got plenty of time to recover from whatever he was dealing with. They're up here with Zahid Valencia, cruised to the finals, and had one of the best finals of the tournament in my opinion, beating Hernandez of Cuba in the finals. And Hernandez looked like a super strong 86 kilogram guy, and he put up a nice fight. He's definitely a very athletic guy in the field. However, at the end of the day, he could not get his stuff going and he could not get past the defense of Zahid. Also, Ethan Ramos, the UNC alumni, took home a bronze medal for Puerto Rico at this weight. Several-time world and Olympic champ and finalist Kyle Snyder smashed his way to a title for USA. Torres of Cuba had some potential to put up a good match against him, but once he got fatigued pretty early in the match, it all went downhill for him and he started to fall apart, and he eventually dropped a 12-1 tech fall decision. Now, finally, we are at 125 kilograms, which was the last match of the tournament, and we saw two NCAA stars go at it in Desi, the Oregon State All-American and alumni, and world medalist from NC State Gwiazdowski. The start of the match was just a typical hand fight, with Desi giving up the first shot clock point, but the second period came down to a challenge by Canada to put Desi up 5-3 with 10 seconds to go, and Desi would bring Canada home their second gold medal of the tournament. Desi has been looking for a big win like this since he started international wrestling, and heavyweight is a super strong weight internationally, but this just shows that he is right there in the mix for sure. I'm sure this is a small hiccup for Gwiazdowski. I mean, him and Desi have wrestled before, but overall great match by Desi and the Canada coaching staff, and this is just a minor hiccup for Gwiazdowski, like I said. Well, everyone, in a small TrueTan wrestling nutshell, that was the Pan-Am Games. Yeah, it was an American show all the way. However, there were some wild upsets, especially from the Canadian side of things with the women. They normally have at least one or two good reps, so they're growing little by little, and it's good to see. But if you're an American fan, don't stress. We will still be riding the hunt for a world title this year, probably fighting with Iran. If you enjoyed this video, I would be so grateful if you would hit that like button, along with hitting that subscribe button. If you have any questions on the video, be sure to drop a comment in the comment section below. Also, if you aren't too busy, check out the link for the merch also in the description below. Now, with all that said, I hope to see you guys in the next one, and take care.